Well, I'm joined by the Australian's chief cartoonist, Johannes Leak. Johannes, how are you?
I'm well, Jack. Good to be with you.
Really, really good to see you. Now, look, it's been a very big week of news, so let's hop straight in. Tell us a little bit about this cartoon we've got here over 2020, 2021 and 2022, showcasing all of our natural disasters.
Well, yeah, look, this is a cartoon by Warren Brown where he's kind of looked back through the last few years at some of the awful crises that Australians have had to get through. And in 2020, we've got Under Fire. There's the poor family cowering on the rooftop as the bushfires pass through. Then we've got 2021, the year defined by COVID-19, I suppose, more than any other. And there's the family again on the roof, battening down the hatches, locked in, I suppose, locked down. And then in 2022, we've got underwater with this time the family's up on the roof trying to get away from the rising floodwaters. So he sort of neatly summed up some of the trials and tribulations of the past few years in Australia.
Yeah, no, he's done well. It's been a tough time for a lot of people. Look, moving on, Brett Lethbridge has a brilliant one here which talks about this issue of almost Russian censorship and the boycotting. What do you make of where the world's going in this response to the Ukrainian invasion?
Well, look, I think Brett's summed it up beautifully in this sort of simple but poignant image here. We've got, he's kind of married up the two issues of the floods in Queensland, but he's brought in elements of the situation in the Ukraine here, and here we've got people throwing out their sodden, rain-soaked and kind of wrecked, furniture and possessions, but they're throwing out the Russian vodka at the same time as I suppose, a gesture of how they feel about Russia's behaviour over in Ukraine.
Yeah, it's very interesting. We'll have to see how much impact the sanctions will actually have, but I guess it's one of the only measures that we have right now. Look, speaking on the same topic, of course, we've got the next cartoon is talking about Russian forces and then Australian forces. And while this is happening in Ukraine, our guys very much have our hands full here domestically.
Yeah, that's right. Peter Broman here has done a similar thing. He's brought these two separate issues together into the one cartoon. On the left, we've got, the theme here is helicopters and military helicopters, and here's the helicopter on the left being used to shoot at civilians. In Australia, we've got military helicopters engaged in rescue operations, lifting stranded people off rooftops to get them out of the floodwater. So really clever and a really neat little way of bringing together two tragedies, I suppose, into the one cartoon.
And it's a really tough topic to nuance in a cartoon, and I think he's done a brilliant job there. Johannes, thank you so much for your insights. I really appreciate it.
Pleasure. Cheers.